What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I have my first update video on Salvino JR models, 1979 Chevrolet Monte Carlo NASCAR, the Busch version. So first off, this kit is actually going together pretty well. There's no issues whatsoever. I mean, there's some fiddly parts, which I'll explain here in a little bit, but so far the kit is wonderful and it's going together super well. I'm quite surprised. So let's go ahead and show you what the heck I'm doing so far. Everything is ready for primer and paint. As you see, I kind of got my paints all kind of laid out and organized, so I kind of makes things more smoother. So we did get the body and chassis here. I got it mounted up because I do want to show you guys something. But the chassis and interior, the body looks amazing. Looks very good. So we can pop the hood off. The hood, very little cleanup, just scuff it, and that's good to go. The body, there's some minor mold lines we do have to get them out, so such as the fenders and the back fender. So typical areas, they're pretty well hidden, so you don't really notice it, but you can definitely feel them. So just sand those out and you're good to go, and just give the body a scuff and you're basically good to go. The panel lines are actually pretty decent, so you don't really have to do too much of those. But you just have to mount the front headlight area and also the back end. The back end's a little fiddly. You are gonna have to take your time with that, but once you get it in there, it's snug as a bug. But for me, I had to do some putty on the bottom, but not too big a deal because I think I got a bit of a gap. But we got that fixed, and it looks pretty good. The front went on perfectly fine. Again, just a little fiddly, but you will get it once you understand, because the instructions on this kit half the time was kind of confusing. I think Salvino, they're still a very new company. They just started, I believe, like 4 or 5 years ago, not even. So they're still pretty new into the hobby. So they're trying to improve their instructions a little bit more. But the instructions are actually not bad, but there are some things that's kind of confusing. So, but other than that, it looks amazing and it's ready for primer. So this particular kit, this is a brand new kit from Salvino JR. Because Salvino JR's models, they bought out a bunch of molds from Revell, I believe AMT, because Revell and AMT, they made a whole bunch of NASCAR kits, and they're not producing anymore, obviously. So JR models, they bought them all out, and then they're reusing the Revell and AMT Revell monogram molds. So that's pretty cool. But this is not one of them. This is a brand new mold from Salvino JR's. So this was never a monogram or Revell kit to begin with. This is a brand new mold. So everything looks apart. I mean, due to the engine bay, everything. But there's one major issue. If you're going to take this to a model car show, or if you're about detail, there is one big issue. And flip it around, and that issue is right there. I'm not sure what they were kind of doing. The chassis is a good 2 inches, like, not long enough. So you are going to get this big gap. So what you want to do is you might want to get some styrene and try to fill it in. Then kind of move the gas tank. Might have to drill out the gas tank and move the gas tank back, because this this is kind of a little weird. But as you see, I kind of had to do some pipe in there to fix a gap. But yeah, the chassis is good, and also the chassis is in 2 pieces. This is the front piece. This is the first piece and then back piece. And then you kind of gotta know where to mount, because there's 3 locking pins onto the chassis. So you basically have to mount, if you're going to glue your chassis together before paint, you're going to have to get the engine in there, and you are going to have to get your rear end kind of built up and slug it in there, and you are going to have to test fit the drive shaft, because there's 3 locking pins, and the instructions does not tell you which locking pin to put it in. So you are going to have, it's kind of a guessing game. So for me, it's the middle locking pin. So just in case you're wondering, it is the middle one, because yeah, I don't really know. So there is a little bit of a gap there. So the chassis is not that great. I'm gonna put that out right now, but again, it looks pretty good because you're not gonna see it anyway. But again, it's okay, but definitely it could be definitely good because of improving. But again, I'm not complaining. So if you are going to take this to a model show, you definitely might want to get this gap situated. I mean, get this filled in, or get some styrene sheets or whatever. You definitely want to take care of this. But for me, this is for my brother, a bonus for my brother for Christmas. So we gotta get moving on this, because my brother loves Busch, and this is a Busch livery that comes with this car. So I'm not gonna take this. I'm not gonna take this to any model shows. My brother, I'm gonna use it to my brother. I'm gonna give it to him with the display case, and my brother's not gonna move it whatsoever. I'm pretty sure he's gonna put it in one spot and just keep it there. So he's not gonna look at the bottom anyway. So I don't have to worry about that. But again, if I was going to do this kit again and for myself, I definitely would be filling this in. So I'm not really sure why they did that, but it's kind of annoying. But again, it's okay. But again, if you are taking this to a show, you might want to get that situated. But the roll cage was really nice. Again, very fiddly, because there's not really locating pins to mount the roll cage. It's just like slips, like, you know, like this. It's like a slip. So there's no pins where it locks in. So you are gonna have to hold this in while the welding cement does its job. I mean, it's very fiddly. So, but take your time. I mean, it's a lot of fiddly parts. The front suspension is a lot of suspension components. I mean, pretty fiddly this part is, but it does work and it looks amazing. But again, it does take your time. Take your time, and it does look apart. But again, like I said, when you're putting it together, it is pretty fiddly. So I do not recommend this kit for a beginner, obviously, because there's a lot of fiddly parts in this. And then one more thing is this little brace. They actually cut this. They actually tell you to cut this brace off apart, like an actual like a front suspension part. So because that is not separate, I kind of got that pretty confused. I was like, where is this part? Am I actually missing it? But they actually tell you to cut it from this guy, because you're not using, because this is also a front suspension from a different car, but you have to cut it from, I believe, right here. So it tells you cut it from part 37. So just in case you're wondering, I got that pretty confused, and yeah, you do have to cut it loose from this part, which is kind of weird, but I guess it works. I mean, so yeah, just keep that in mind. You are gonna have to cut that from that part, because it's a different front suspension this car does, because they use a lot of these trees for a lot of NASCARs, because there's different Monte Carlo NASCAR kits out there. What Scribing GR does, and they share a lot of the trees and stuff. So just keep that in mind. Very fiddly, and you know, it looks good, but again, very fiddly. So take your time. The body looks apart. So this is already scuffed up and ready for primer and paint. We're going to be using the splash paints frozen white, because the car is white. So I got this left over from my Ford Mustang GT4 Le Mans race car. So we're going to go ahead and use that bottle up. So get that tossed in the garbage and get that used up. So we'll use that, and then we'll clear coat it, because I always put one coat of clear onto the body with the white or whatever color, and then I'll mask off the windows, mask off all the sides, because for the interior, the interior on these older NASCARs, you can't do anything wrong. They're sometimes aluminum, red, black, whatever, green. So this one, I kind of saw some pictures, not really, it's not really particular pictures, but for this one, I'll just do a red interior. So this is the red we're going to be using. It's actually two different types of splash paints reds, because I just kind of mix them together. So this is two different types, but we're going to kind of use that up as well. So we're going to do this one all red, because, you know, I think it will stand out and it look pretty cool. But again, there's no wrong way doing these interiors. You can do it blue, whatever you want to do. A lot of them were red back in the day, but there are also kind of white ones. Not too many white, but again, do the interior whatever you want to do. You can do it bare aluminum, whatever. Then the bottom side, I'm not sure what color I'm going to do the bottom side. I might do it aluminum, or I might do it red. I'm not sure. But that's the interior I'm going to go with, just red. So so that means I'm going to paint the white, clear coat it, mask off the outside. Then we're going to be doing the whole inside red as well the fenders, because there's no fenders in this one. These are show through. So we'll do these red. So I'll do the whole inside red, and then we'll unmask it, put the decals on, and then we'll clear coat the whole thing again with the decals, and it should look pretty good. So pretty good. Everything else, there's a lot of aluminum parts, such as the engine. The engine looks amazing. So I still gotta do my distributor holes because I do want to wire this one. But engine aluminum, exhaust aluminum, a lot of aluminum parts. So nothing too special. The gas tank aluminum. Don't really have to do too much to the gas tank because you're not going to see it anyway because the trunk. I'm not going to cut the trunk out, and I don't really know if you're not going to fix that chassis problem. You don't want to cut the trunk out anyway. But yeah, the rear suspension, they say black or whatever. So I'm going to do steel, dark steel. Just has a little contrast. So we'll do the rear end steel, dry shaft steel, and also the sway bar steel. So just gives it like a little contrast from the chassis color. And then yeah, it looks pretty good. And the wheels on this one are gold. So we'll be doing the wheels gold from Splash Paints BBS Gold. They're brand new color that just came out a few months ago. So we'll go ahead and do these ones up with gold because the letters, the number 11 this car is gold. So the wheels match. And that's how it is on a real car. So pretty cool. But other than that, it's awesome kit so far. Again, like I said, very fiddly. Take your time. The chassis issue, again, is pretty short. So you are going to get like a 2-inch gap under the chassis with the body. So if you don't care about that, don't worry about it. But if you do care about it, if you're going to take this to shows and show the bottom side, you might want to get that fixed. But like I said, I'm getting this to my brother. So it's going to be in a display case. And I'm pretty sure my brother's never going to touch it again. He's going to keep it in the display case and keep it pretty, and this is going nowhere. This is not going to any shows or nothing like that. So I'm not going to worry about the chassis. But again, if you're going to take this to shows, you definitely might want to get that fixed. But that's the only big issue. But other than that, the kit is wonderful and it's going to look apart hopefully. But other than that, guys, that's it for this video. Until my next video, I'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.